There we go. Alright, we're good. Capture H audio, turn that down. We are in game for the one game. You can see everything good?
You're a little blurry on this end over here.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about that. That's not important. Just stream it. It'll come up. So it's all good.
Let me know about the audio chat because I did not test anything. I barely got the mic working for today, but here we are. First game of Winter Bash 3. SudsySugar in the green. He's picked the Celts. Wolf of the North in the orange. Also in the chat to commentate. He has picked the Britons. This is the single game in this set. These players are in the C squad, C tier. We're doing a league based format up until December this year, so that players, they'll play against people that are hopefully have similar skill level to them and hopefully be able to progress if they learn and grow through that. But for now, we can just talk about the game. We're on Black Forest. We are playing, as is customary, Black Forest on Explored. No other maps, but that's just the way Black Forest is generally played in the AoE 2 scene. So we have a few houses for SudsySugar. 3 houses start for both of these guys. Normally, you know, meta players will go for 2. Sudsy has forgotten to set the gather point there, but it's a little rusty. I wouldn't be surprised if he hasn't booted up the game in the last year. So we got to give him some slack. That might come back to bite him though. Hello Cap, good to see you here in the chat.
Welcome, welcome.
Oh my gosh, this audio, this music is too loud. I gotta turn it down. Hang on. For me. Okay, there we go. Okay, now it's gonna restart the whole thing. But anyways, we're gonna want to be seeing a little more hitting of that idle villager key for Edulum, I think. These players, I don't know about Wolf of the North, but he's not. They're not probably gonna have small trees, so these are gonna be much harder to see. Actually, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. There we go. That's looking a lot more like the Age of Empires 2 that you might see up on first boot.
No.
Yeah, a little harder to tell where everything is, where all the tiles are and everything, but... And no little exclamation points above the vills. But definitely more of a vibe. So far, Wolf of the North has been keeping up that villager production. You can see on the bottom right here, idle TC time, 133. It's not a pro number, but it's better than his opponent at 303. There's more villagers coming out though. It's 8 to 12 right now. Looking pretty good for our player in orange. Cameron, what were you thinking right now in this game? You got any insights for us? It was about a week ago. But...
yeah, you know, the big thing was getting, as soon as I figured out where he was and where that opening was, I wanted to get a wall down. And I think you already saw, but there I put that wall up in that choke point, just because I generally take too long in regards to walling off. I just wanted to be prepared. I didn't know what he was going to do. I didn't know if he was going to rush. I didn't know how far ahead he would be or what he had. So I wanted to just get a preemptive wall up to make sure that I wouldn't be caught unawares. I generally tend to get the wall up last. I've had a few games where somebody will wall it off first. So
I remember that being kind of a theme last year, is we were really trying to hammer it in, especially on these single choke point Black Forest maps. You gotta get that middle control, and I like to see it.
That was very important to me, was to try to get that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And just so that I could, and I figured that would allow me to control my production and pace a little bit better, because I wouldn't be caught by maybe a troop attack, like a sneak attack or something. I knew that I would be able to play my game by putting the wall there.
Nice. Yeah, taking control in this game is a pretty major part of it, right? Controlling the narrative, being the one who's making the decisions instead of reacting. Very important. We have a mill for SudsySugar. Neither player really looking too close to being able to click up just yet. We have 19 pop for Wolf of the North and 11 for Sudsy here on the north side. And there's our first farm. Looks like he hasn't remembered about... Oh, I think I remember. We were talking about this after the game, right? He didn't know that boars and rhinoceri are interchangeable, so he thought he just didn't have any boars. So he's just gonna do without that 800 food.
Yeah, and it's also the other big thing is that he didn't put it by the berries either, which would have been a lot easier. Would have been probably.
It's true. Usually, players will drop that mill next to the berries.
Yeah. It would have saved him some resources on wood as well, because he's having to divert a few to the farms over there.
Yeah, that early farm transition is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
We've got a mill here for Wolf of the North. Usually I'd like to see that right next to those berries, but that's a nitpick, it doesn't matter. Also, no boars for you here. Oh, yeah, we're doing the mill rhino strat.
Yeah, I figured the rhinoceros had to be farmable, so I went right for it.
Yeah. Not bad.
I ended up ending both of them as well. So and it drops right by the mill, so that was really good on my part.
400. I actually don't remember if they are different to the boar. Chat, look into it. Get back to us with the deets. Sudsy with the 10-minute loom.
Vampires too. Boars actually have 300, so the rhinos do have more boar. Rhinos have more than the boar.
Good catch, Cap. Yeah. And there are. This is Black Forest, so there's going to be a secondary pack of boars or rhinos, depending on the map, for each player as well. But
there's a lot of rhinos over there for Sudsy.
Yeah, he's got the starting one here. 3 more. Little alligator. Excuse me, I gotta sneeze. Woo! Hit that mute button right in time.
Yep, and heading up to next age right now.
We do have that 12-minute click up for Wolf of the North. You've been a little more smooth here. You've been playing online, like ranked games, quick match games with me and a few others.
Yeah, just getting a little practice in
last few months.
Yeah, you know, nothing serious, but just enough that I can keep my skills up, that I know what I'm doing and everything. So I'd say, like, I'm trying to think of the right thing. I mean, it has felt better. There are games that I've played that I feel really good in. But I obviously looked at this game and there were still things that I definitely could have done better. I can't rest on my laurels just because this guy was at around my skill level. I'm not going to be able to get away with that, say, in the B tier.
I mean, we do have 21 pop-up for both. I think you've sort of spoiled the winner of the game, but it may not come as a surprise to anybody at this point. Sudsy turning his nose up at basically all of the food sources on the map, just because he just doesn't know. And that is what it is, you know? That's why we're here in the Winter Bash instead of in T90 Titans League, top 24 players in the world or anything like that. Wolf of North hits Feudal Age. He's got that barracks up. And we'll see what he decides to do next. As the Britons, we might expect a range opening. But David, yeah, I see what you're saying there. A little more open in Age 2. I agree, other than the fact that I think it's because it's designed for more than a 1v1 play. There's always only a single choke point between the players in Age 2 Black Forest in a 1v1. That opens up more, I think. I mean, for example, in a 4v4, there's going to be way more ways through, but it's going to be basically all focus here, and then maybe if it goes late enough, Onager cuts through the sides.
Yeah.
As far as fighting goes, the Britons here, known for their archers, known for their extra range on their archers. They can make longbows out of the castle. Pretty much the same as Age 4. They have a very similar identity. On the other side, the Celts are a siege and infantry civ. Their infantry moves more quickly, and they gather more wood from their lumber choppers. So they get a bit of a boost with some of that economy. The Britain's eco bonus is that they gather sheep faster or for longer. I'm not sure which.
Looks
God,
like
this farm transition is just really slowing him down. It's just, you usually want to put that off as long as humanly possible in this game. So Sudsy is about to hit feudal age though. We only have 4 man-at-arms for Wolf of the North. Let's see if he can do any damage here with this. Oh, and
archers down as well.
a couple of archers who do have their okay. Does this have range on your range? 4 tiles. Okay, so they are about to get fletching, which will add 1 range and 1 damage.
Making a move to the wall.
Couple eco. These are solid eco upgrades for Sudsy. Wheelbarrow maybe a little early, but you see it, you click it, it's a good tech. And here come the man-at-arms and the archers. Now this is not unsalvageable, I think. Sudsy Sugar only, I mean, 23, 28 is pretty bad, but this kind of attack doesn't necessarily kill you straight out. Unless it's like you're trying to just read the state of the game and you're like, okay, he's way too far ahead. But I would like to see farms more around the mill. Oh boy. And a lot of times players at this level won't really have the garrison hotkeys and just like procedures really worked out, so you're gonna see a lot of the town bell. And Wolf of the North going for that tower right on the hill. I love that tower.
Yeah, I
Solid.
felt at this point
Nice.
I felt
Basically
kind of
everything.
I felt confident enough that I could probably drop a tower down there just to keep an eye out, give some cover for my troops.
Yep, Sudsy gonna make the only thing he can, Spearman. So I'm gonna pause here.
Good.
I think the reaction to seeing orange with the man-at-arms and the archers, I think the right move would be to go into skirmishers, because well, also the tower on the gold. You have the gold back here, but skirmishers only cost food. These farms are real unfortunate. Oh, real unfortunate. But skirms will take care of the archers, and they will chip down the man-at-arms. And they only cost wood and food, so they might slow you down a little bit more, but as far as aging up.
That's good to know.
But that's probably the army comp that you want to go for. Sudsy, without the archery range, though, is not going to be able to do too much.
Yeah.
As he is currently just going to go ahead and sit inside the TC. Let's see what these villagers get up to over here. Skirms are the counter unit to archers. They do bonus damage, and they have a lot of armor. Not present in Age 4. Age of Empires 4. Gonna move on to build a stable here. Also not terrible, but you can only make scouts out of it until Castle Age, which are not gonna be, or Light Cav, not gonna really be able to clear this up without a large amount of numbers. No spears though, from Wolf of the North, so maybe that's the thinking behind that.
Yeah,
I go for some funny houses in the middle here. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there. I think I just wanted to get a few houses up. Again, I think I hit pop cap and I didn't want to. I think I hit pop cap at this point. Yeah, I did. I just needed houses.
Oh,
down
yeah.
Move in that direction.
Sure. Well, that's a pro move, building houses in the middle of the map and in your enemy's base. Happens all the time.
I don't know if that was the intention or not, but it just kind of felt like the thing to do. And I am moving around the map just to make sure that he's not getting anything sneaky out, making sure that he's not... but he does end up getting a stable up, so I'm having to kind of divert attention there.
So again here with these farms, you basically, when you're getting attacked like this, want to keep all of your eco under your town center. So farms here, I know these trees are kind of a problem, but just like within this radius, which you may or may not be able to see in your game, gonna be the best spot for all this stuff. Even with this tower, these farms are still safe. He can't push that. Orange can't push that even with this amount of army, so... This, I guess, is just hoping to be a sneak and then hoping that Orange won't be able to find it. Here's a scout doing a actually pretally good amount of work, but there's a lot
that I didn't manage. There's a lot that I'm not managing right well. Like I was able, I actually almost lose a lot of those archers. Right, I've actually lose a bit of those archers right there. In addition to that, because of that, I also wasn't thinking about my
Scout doing
villagers
well
because they
against the
were
archers. If you had the
because they were
man-at-arms grouped with that, it would have been a
yeah, that
different
was
story. But
they were, but I still have some more units coming back up,
see some attempted
and
micro here. Love that.
yeah,
One thing you can do, also partially because the pathing in this game sucks so much, is just shoot with your archers, move back a little bit, shoot again, move back, shoot again, move back. Just kite them,
yeah,
because then the melee units may not be able to get in another attack before you micro them back again.
and I do have some more units up. I do kind of start moving in that direction towards the stable because I don't want to get it. I don't want to be dealing with any more scouts or anything. I want to get it down as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I think you mentioned a pikeman probably would have been good there for the horses, but um,
You don't need them. Man-at-arms here, though they're unupgraded, will be tanky enough, and you have enough of them that, yeah, look, they're taking plenty of damage.
I think
If there was a large scout mass, I mean, still, I think the man-at-arms here are okay with that. The issue with going man-at-arms in Age of Empires is they're just slow. So, again, with the skirmishers, or if Green made archers, he would be able to just pick them off from range and just keep running away until they all die. And you can't do a ton of direct damage here because villagers can just run away from them too, unless you block.
Yeah.
But this is the last working economic holdout for Green. He's making a run for it.
Then I think on that top right of his TC, I'm starting to put some houses up, and I think I'm getting a siege workshop down on that top portion where his go up a little bit.
Got the forward vills. No siege workshop yet.
No, not yet. I think I did get one up.
Yeah, something you can do if your opponent won't resign in this situation and you're in feudal age. Wait, you can't make a siege workshop. You got to go castle still.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about.
And if you're in castle age and you don't want to dive it with man-at-arms, just get a couple mangonels out. They outrange the town center, and you can just siege that down from a distance. Here we go. Sudsy has found the safe farms here. He's persevering throughout all of this. The score difference, not actually too crazy. Idle TC time is about the same for both, a little higher for Sudsy here.
Yeah,
Cap with a couple questions about the elo and the placements in these leagues. We'll go over it again at the end. I'm going to go through all the rules and all the settings for this tournament, but I think it is 10 ranked single player or ranked 1v1s played in order to be placed by elo. Otherwise, you're just placed by our panel of 3 judges, myself included, at the beginning of the tournament. Also, if you're like a random person who the community doesn't necessarily know, you can just join and be placed by ranked games as well. You just have to have at least 10 played. We've got Wolf of the North just moving around, clearing stuff up around here, getting some houses up in the back.
I feel like at this point I have the game. I want to be very careful. I am going to the next age as well. I'm just kind of taking my time playing maybe a little too conservatively. Just again, I did feel confident going into the game, but I definitely think there's still things I can improve on and everything.
Yeah, I think just constantly
like
getting those vills producing
that's really the big
solid.
thing that I still have trouble is making sure I don't have any idle.
Replacing that lumber camp when it gets a little far away like that.
Yeah.
But okay, we're getting forging, solid stuff. And basically the only thing you can do here if your opponent won't resign is just go castle age and siege their TC.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was focusing. And there's a siege workshop going up.
I'm waiting Cap for somebody to make a spearman so I can check. I think they're the same movement speed. Our spears and MMA the same movement speed in this game. I'm pretty sure they are. There's that siege workshop. There's that battering ram. Battering ram versus mangonel. The battering ram feels maybe more like it makes sense to take out buildings, but the issue there is your opponent can more easily fight it off with like vills under the TC. It should be totally fine here though.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was just kind of going with what works. I wasn't thinking too much, but
Gotta give it to Sudsy for sticking this out.
yeah, no, he was persistent, and then
Oh, town bell is unrung. He's setting the bills. He's going in.
As soon as I saw the villagers coming at me, I thought, okay, this is it. We're at the end game now. He's coming.
We do have loom, so these vills are as strong as they're gonna be. They got wheelbarrow too, so they'll move a little faster. HP difference is favoring the vills.
I was
Villager
surprised
side.
at how well the villagers were doing against my crossbowmen, so I was a little caught off guard by it, but
Yeah. But it looks like they've had enough. Villagers are very hard to micro in fights because you have to manually retest them all the time and pull back the weak ones. So Sudsy with we've got an eco KD of 19-0 this game.
PC's going
The
down.
regular KD 22-31, a little bit better, especially with that scout against the archers earlier. But TC goes down, and all that's keeping SudsySugar in the game now is a few villagers, and he decides to call it there.
That's it. GG's.
GG's. Most created unit 7 scouts. I did not see 7 scouts this game,
Really?
but I guess they were out there somewhere. They did work to some extent. You got a castle. You didn't even get a hit up on that castle before
No, I didn't.
decided to call it. I think maybe he was looking for the resign button. Who knows? But 21 crossbows. With that resource bank, could have been a lot more. I'm not gonna lie. A second archery range when you're in this position, or a third too.
The problem I still ultimately have is that I don't make enough secondary bases or production queues or production buildings to kind of to make more units. I'm still kind of confined to the command and conquer thing. I'm so used to just making at least one of each production building. When this game, especially when it gets to the later stages, the late game, having more archery ranges, siege workshops, a few extra castles, having that'll help you get more units out and respond to threats a lot more easily. So I still have trouble adjusting and making more production in order to keep up with everybody. I think that's a problem I still deal with. I was able to get away with it in this game because it didn't stretch on as long. But if it got to a later stage of the game, I probably would want to make some more buildings for production for units.
So I gotta ask now. Any thoughts on who your next opponent might be? Any ideas?
Let me pull up the standings here.
Also, chat. That's
So, just to clarify, I need to
standings
challenge
command.
somebody in B. I need to challenge somebody in B tier. Is that correct? B League.
Yes, you can also just challenge somebody else in C if you want to just get in some more practice and earn some more points. That's totally fine. But to go up,
I've looked. A big thing is I definitely want to take somebody I know that I can take, but I also want to challenge myself because you don't necessarily learn anything from fighting just same level players all the time or taking fights you can win. Like I obviously want to win. I obviously want to improve, but I obviously want to advance in the league, but I also want to get a challenge out of it as well.
Sure.
Squeaky maybe.